Hello everyone, I'm here with a drag queen and a columnist, Edna Sorgelsen. So Edna, can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, so my name is Edna Sorgelsen. As you said, I am a drag queen from Belgium. I was a former contestant of the Belgian version of RuPaul's Drag Race 2 years ago. And since that, I have the chance to be a columnist in a pop culture show on the public broadcaster in Belgium, the French-speaking TV.
So how do you think that the first airing of drag queens in Belgium on the public TV has an effect on the public and the EU in general, not only Belgium, the EU in general, and do you think it will widen the minds of the audience?
I think it's a very wide question. First of all, I would say that it's just for the drag queens, it helps to show that, I think it's stupid, the drag artistry is not only for the nightlife, because during a lot of time the drag queens were just doing some parody of stars like Cher, Dalida or other queens. And we showed that in the end with this TV show, we are not only in the nightlife doing this specific kind of art, but we can also sue, sing, host, do comedy, etc. So it was first of all, a way to show our range of skills. We don't need to be all very good at one, but at least all of us together, we are artists. And for the second part, I think it's also a good representation about the LGBTQIA+ community on TV. So if the first step to go to this representation is about a show about drag queens, I think it's good, because we are not always presented as a traumatized person. We are bringing an optimistic way to see the community, and that's why I think this kind of programs are very important for the representation of us.
So in your journalistic jobs, have you had any problems because of your appearance or even your sexuality or your beliefs?
So far, no. I'm working mostly in a studio, so it's already a safe space. But I have the chance to have very nice pop culture themes that I have to talk about. Usually it's from a little new TV show or for a play or for something. And then step by step, I can bring my point of view from the first door, which is, I don't know, the Emily in Paris new TV show. Okay, but what is Paris? And then a new movie about bullying at school. Okay, what is the bullying? Where are we now in Belgium? And do we have some initiatives which can help to prevent this phenomenon or to support the victims? And so every time it's culture and then to bring something which is useful. And what I like with the chance I have is that I can bring maybe another point of view that let's say the mainstream and the general straight people would not think about. That's what my producers told me when I asked them, why are you hiring me? They said, because you are bringing a queer story, another story about the phenomenon of society.
Yeah, that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
So you're a children's reader, so you talk about inclusivity for the children in Croatia, and I think I was exposed to it. A lot of people don't like it, don't like that the children are getting exposed to these different taboo themes or different kind of people. So what do you think about it? How do the children react with you?
First of all, I would say that the children don't see anything wrong. For example, in our Belgian TV show, we had a puppet, which was the host of a TV show. It's a puppet, you don't know who is under, and it was also a freaky puppet. Here, it's a drag queen, so as you can see, I am colorful, I am expressive, and for a child, it's just enough. There is a show, there is a skills to tell stories. So I would say that the first thing for the parents, which can have some reaction, is, will it be a nice show for my child? Yes or no? But yes, you see that this drag queen is a funny character. Second, about the message, I'm not sure that I'm spreading the gay agenda. I don't want people to force themselves to become homosexual, but I want them to see that there is, in the society, maybe something else than what they see in general, and so they can be they can get a taste of the freedom that they want maybe later to try. I will not, of course, talk about sex to children less than 14, 16 years old, because it's not the purpose. We are talking about fairy tales, but not the same kind of fairy tales where there is a princess and a prince, except if the princess is lesbian. So we try to give other stories, also about ecology, about handicapped, about grossophobia, I don't know in English, bigophobia. Yeah. So we try to give other speeches, not only about LGBTQIA+. It depends, of course, who is booking us to do the reading. But I don't always understand the reaction of the parents, which can be very aggressive sometimes, with a lot of hate, making a huge mix between drag queens, homosexual and pedophilia, which has absolutely no links. And they say sometimes, yes, but the drag queens, they have to stay in the nightlife. It's very nice, we don't have anything against you, but you have to stay in the clubs for the gay people. Why? Why? When you are in a hotel room with an adult, you might do some stuff, but if you have with the children, you will not do anything. You will adapt you will do something else. And so it's absolutely the same with drag art. If I am with children, I will do a children's show, and if I am with adult, I will do adult show, a bit more salty with the humor. And that's something that the adults which are against drag lectures has to understand. We are not pervert and crazy. We still respect the fact that the child needs time to develop, and we will not feed him with the political point of view.
Yeah, yeah. So recently in Croatia there was the first airing of somebody who is of the queer community. So there was a reportage of two gay men and their love. And it was a culture shock in Croatia, so that was on public service TV. And the reactions were mixed. So many people liked it and many people hated it. So what do you think, what is the biggest problem in public? Is it their ignorance or their lack of exposure, or what is the problem because of this reaction?
I would say it's a bit both, because in the end, for me, what is the real problem is that the straight people don't realize that their story is always the only one which is always told. So when you are gay, lesbian, trans, and when you grow up, you see always straight stories, and then you begin maybe to feel different, unaccepted. It can lead to suicide, a depressive state, and that's what I think the straight people need to understand, that we don't want to revolutionize everything, we just want to let other stories to be told, because the monopoly of the speech has always been to the straight people.
I have one more question, sorry, I forgot it. 1 second. So, do you currently believe there is a place in the media for taboo topics? So, do you currently think there is enough space for taboo topics in the media? That was the question.
I would think that step by step we begin to be able to talk about things. It's a bit like the Overton window, you know, but in the positive side, not the Nazi side. And it's more and more the case. Actually, in Belgium, it is kind of okay. If you check, for example, the ILGA ranking of the LGBTQIA+ support that the country can give to the community, Belgium is really good. So we can speak about transgender, we can speak about homosexuality. Though I think that in some other countries you don't have this kind of visibility and representation, and that's unfortunately needs some fight and some courage from the other people to say, okay, but maybe it might be interesting to educate, even though I don't like the word educate, which means people don't know and they are stupid. Yeah. I would say just to tell stories. We are just saying this, and by doing so, we help people to accept, not even to accept, but to understand or to see that it exists, and then later to understand, and later to be more comprehensive and acceptive. It's not a word, but you understand.
Yeah. So basically, this is a hard question and a wide question. Do you think there will ever be a time that the whole public totally accepts every kind of person in the world? Naturally.
Unfortunately, I would love to say yes, but I have to say no. I think But we see it right now with the geopolitical situation and the comeback of the far-right people, that foreigners or the other is always a problem. Though we saw a lot of time that when we were doing advocacy for democracy, that other opinion was very important. Now we see that it's really the between us. We say in French, entre soi. So it's really, we stay between us, and it's always us and the others of course are always the source of any problem. It's much more comfortable to think that we don't need to change anything and that's the other one. So I think it's an intellectual very bad point to begin with this principle, but unfortunately it's an easy one, and when you see that all the world is collapsing, finding a victim to blame all the problems is very easy, and it's a natural trend. So that's why we have to give effort to, in the public media, to fight this misinformation and this issue.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.